Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and good evening. Hi, nice to see your photos and nice to see your handsome face, Jess. Hello. Hi, Ria. Nice to see you again. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you again.
Good evening.
All right. Go ahead, Princess.
Ooh, how is everyone doing? Hi, I'm Princess. I think everyone here are not new except for Jess. Jess is dialing from, you're in Tokyo, no? Cool. And hello again, everyone. So tonight we are celebrating new moon in Aquarius, and it's also Chinese New Year Eve ba? Can we say that? I'm not really familiar with this celebration. Um, so yes, I just want to check in with everyone, how everyone is feeling. Like if you want to share, because we have an intimate group tonight, so it will be good to hear out everybody. I'd like to try this. So you can just type in if you don't want to speak up over the mic or in video. Like, where are you right now? Like, heart space wise. Hi. Okay, I guess I will have to start, and I will start by chatting my feelings. I feel would you like to share? This nervousness that I'm feeling is actually not for the ceremony, but it's more of like a bigger like collective scale. I don't know. There's something that's about to come, but I don't know what it is. It's like I'm nervous but excited. I like new moons more than full moons, more relaxed. Ooh, Ria. It's more yin, right? More inward going. And I think Thea and Karina are going to explain that later. Cardio exercise. So body is a little sore. Excited to join this for the first time. Welcome, Jess. Um, so we are doing new moons and full moons every month. New moons are more, how do I say, chilled, relaxed, more inward going. Tired but excited. Ooh, welcome home. Is that a good reply to say welcome home when you're tired? Right, that's good. I think in Japan we say okairi. Okairi nasai. Same with just little sore but grounded. Anxiousness and nervous. High strung feeling is floating in the ether. And you will explain later what is up with that. Okay, so one of the good ways to ground ourselves when we're feeling all these feelings, right? Because sometimes it is our personal feelings, and sometimes we just get it from the collective. And I'd like to share a few grounding techniques, which you can do also personally. It's really just to feel your body where you are, right? Sometimes, like with the emotion, it's too much. Like it can tell us so many things. And so let's just get into the body by rubbing our hands together, creating heat against the palm of our hands. And then let's use our right hand to press the left side of the chest and just pressing down and massaging the left side of the chest, the heart space. It's also where all our lymphatic system meets, right there in the middle of the chest. So just feeling that. Okay. And then let's rub our hands together again. Really creating heat, feeling the warmth of our hands. And then using the left hand to press against the right side of the chest. Maybe taking a deep breath here. All right, now let's rub our hands again together. And let's bring our hands on top of our throat. May we speak the truth. And again, let's rub our hands together, placing it on top of our eyes. May we see the truth. Again, rubbing our hands against each other, placing it on top of our heads. May we open up to the divine source as we go into our ceremony, our gathering for tonight. Now let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. So this is bringing our left and right side of the brains and of our bodies, right? The yin and the yang. So this is a really powerful mudra. And it also brings us back to our heart centers. And I'd like to share with you guys the 5 Reiki principles. And if it resonates with you, you may repeat after me. Just grounding here first. You may hear the sound, music from Althea. For this moment, say, just for today, let go. Just for today, I let go of anger. I am grateful for everything that I receive. Just for today, I work with honesty and integrity. Just for today, I am your presence here today, and I'm happy to be able to share this space with you. If you have a cup of cacao with you, you may take it. If you have a tea or any ceremonial drink, please go ahead and grab it. Uh, I lead the prayer to the Creator and to the 4 gates. You may connect spirit of the earth through cacao. Cacao is a very gentle and heart opening plant. It represents the earth. It is from earth. It is cultivated by the land, the water, the air, and fire. And so all the elements are here with us, joining us tonight in ceremony. And so we thank the land and all the people who are here with us, before us, and are still with us, guiding us. Taking a deep breath in and out. Breathing in and out. One more time, we breathe together in and exhale. Creator, it is I. Thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath and life within me, and for all of your creations. Creator, hear my prayer and honor my prayer. As the day begins with the rising sun, I ask, Spirit Keeper of the East, Brother Eagle, be with me. Fly high as you carry my prayers to the Creator. May I have eyes as sharp as yours, so I am able to see truth and hope in the path I have chosen. Guide my step and give me courage to walk the circle of my life with honesty and dignity. Spirit Keeper of the South, Wolf, be with me. Help me to remember to love and to feel compassion for all mankind. Help me to walk my path with joy and love for myself and for others. Show me it is right for me to make decisions with my heart, even if at times my heart becomes hurt. Help me to grow and nurture myself, worth in all ways. Spirit Keeper of the East, Brown Bear. Spirit Keeper of the West, Brown Bear, be with me. Bring healing to the people I love and to myself. Bring into balance the physical, mental, and spiritual, so I am able to know my place on this earth, in life and in death. Heal my body, heal my mind, and bring light, joy, and awareness to my spirit. Spirit Keeper of the North, White Buffalo, be with me. As each day passes, help me to surrender with grace the things of my youth. Help me to listen to the quiet and find serenity and comfort in the silence as they become longer. Give me wisdom so I am able to make wise choices in all things which are put in front of me. And when time for my change of worlds has come, let me go peacefully, without regrets for the things I neglected to do as I walked along my path. Mother Earth, thank you for your beauty and for all you have given me. Remind me never to take from you more than I need, and remind me to always give back more than I take. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with this, I'd like to invite you to state your intentions. You may whisper it to the spirit of the cacao. Intentions are not necessarily anything that is created by the mind, but also from the heart. How do you want to feel? Now slowly, slowly you may take a sip from your cup. Gratitude to our ancestors, our direct grandparents for bringing this beautiful cup in front of us. All right, and before I turn the baton to Thea, because it's new moon and there is actually no light from the moon, if you have your smudging stick with you or your candle, you may light your candle, just a sign for us to have some light and guidance. You can smudge and also just clean, like the action of just cleaning your body and your mind will be good. And you can do this all throughout the ceremony. So, welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, Princess, for grounding us. That was so beautiful. And with that, I hope everyone is less anxious as we go through the slides. So Karina and I will be going through the energetics and the astrology of the time. As we go through it, should you have any questions, just feel free to type in the chat. If there's anything that you want me to explain further, just feel free to type in the chat again. It's a small group, so we can be as intimate. We're recording this. Know that you're in a safe space. What's being recorded is only the speaker and the screen. And so with that, allow me to share my screen. Let me know if you can see the moon circle. Yes, okay, perfect. So why do we gather? Why are we here? Why do we gather every new moon and every full moon? For those who joined us before, this is the same slide. So for the new ones, thank you for joining us. I hope you are able to resonate with what we are doing here. Essentially, we're gathering for community to really try to live more in alignment with the cyclical rhythms of nature. And honor that as the moon has its phases, so do we. We have dark, we have light, we have ups, we have downs, we have peaks and we have valleys. And because of our modern world, we are forgetting it. We are forgetting to honor rest when it's time to rest. We're forgetting to honor darkness. And darkness can be symbolic of, a dark night of a soul, or just feeling sad or feeling confused. We're forgetting to honor the dark as well as the light, and forgetting that all of this is part of our journey. And so hopefully as we gather every new moon, so new moons, which is what we have today, new moons is when we don't have light because the sun is very close to the moon. And so the slate is clean. It's an opportunity for us to begin anew, like it's a brand new day, to start again, to set new intentions. And then slowly, with this, I actually want to invite you to have just some sky journey. Because this new moon is a really potent new moon. Look to the west every day as much as you can. If you have a view of the sky, look to the west every sunset. And just slowly notice how the moon is slowly building light. And you'll notice that when it's a half moon, the light is half, and then when it's a full moon, it's a full moon. When the sun is opposite the moon, because that's really the way, that's one of the best ways, and our neighbors' dogs, I guess, agree with me. That's one of the best ways that we can really embody, and really participate with what, like, nature's wonders. And that's really through the moon. And what we're doing here in community is offering you space to align with the energetics of the time, So now it's a new moon in Aquarius, and of course we'll explain further what that means, what Aquarius means, and how you can embody the Aquarian archetype. And realize slowly how we can build compassion, because we all have that Aquarian archetype in ourselves. And consider slowly how we can take a step back from the turmoils of the world and choose to respond where we actually enroll our energy in, versus just reacting haphazardly because of triggers. And so hopefully living more in alignment with the moon and with nature can help with that. And with that, just soak this image in for a moment while I share something with you about Aquarius. And hopefully you're able to feel this too. I am Aquarius. I am the 11th air god of the zodiac. Behind me, I feel the cold and earnest vibration of Capricorn. I still carry his genes in me. I have a memory of his cold and aloneness. I know Capricorn hates weakness, yet he too has a weakness. I feel it in my back. He tries to hide it through pride. That weakness is fear, fear of guilt. Every day that Capricorn wakes up, his first thoughts will not be of blossoming flowers and playing children, but he will think of his duties and responsibilities. Why? Because he wants to be ahead of guilt. For guilt can weigh so heavily upon him. None of the other signs is so connected to conscience as he is. That is why he is so serious. His path in life is a climb, up a mountain, alone. In his realm, there must be order. And therefore, he creates rules and laws, not only for himself, but for everyone. What I learned from him, though, is there is no freedom without responsibility. Before me is the infinite limitlessness of Pisces. The purpose of my position is to draw a line between the vertical world of Capricorn and the infinity of Pisces. I am the bridge between them, and my bridge is horizontal. I revolt against the rules and regulations of Capricorn. I smash them to pieces. No one shall impose rules upon me or anyone else. I am free. My world is made of equality. The rules of Capricorn have become rights in my realm, human rights, equal rights, and I lather them with oceanic love of Pisces, who was there right before me. My world is not a mountain, but a team that is called humanity. Yes, I smashed the rules of Capricorn into millions of pieces. I swing them throughout the universe, and there, right in front of me, is the fire god Leo, who ignites them into stars, which I gather in my urn, where they become stardust that I pour out for humanity to give them ideals and dreams for a better world. That is Aquarius. And that is the spirit and archetype of Aquarius. And this new moon has 6 planetary bodies in Aquarius. For those who join us regularly, I always say that every new moon is a potent new moon, but I just really want to stress how super extra potent this new moon is. Just because the degree of this new moon is the same degree where Saturn, the planet of constriction and contraction, met Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth and transformation and change, last year in Capricorn, which rules our foundations, our systems, our laws, and our governments. And what happened last year? Can you imagine yourself this time last year? How were you feeling? The contractions that you were feeling, that anxiety that you were feeling, that uneasiness, that uncertainty, like all those feelings, if you can remember, that's sort of being brought up again this new moon, but in a different energetics. It's like last year when we had all that Capricorn turbulence, and I'm sure all of us, and again, the dogs, my neighbors, are agreeing with me passionately. If you can hear them, I apologize. It's just perks of living in Manila. But each and every one of us have that own unique experience of how last year, and even like, the feelings of last year are being brought forth this year. But somehow I hope you're also feeling the lift, where it was revealed to us, Capricorn, Saturn, Pluto, and even Jupiter. It was revealed to us what needed to break down, what systems and structures and foundations needed to break down, so we can bring forth a more equanimous, collaborative, free Aquarius future. Aquarius is also our hopes and dreams. What does that mean for you? Like, just saying these big words, like, what am I stirring up in you? I hope you're able to just give yourself that embodied experience. So, like, just checking these out, like further embodiment. Last year, we were in a rat year, and rats, and I'm referring to the Chinese zodiac because it's also the Chinese New Year, Kung Hei Fat Sui. If there's anyone, am I saying that right? I just look Chinese, but I'm not Chinese. I mean, half. My grandfather, rest his soul, never taught us the language. um, but anyway, last year was a rat year. And rats are known to carry plagues. Rats are known to carry diseases. Although, of course, they have high sides, I just really want to focus on the energetics where last year being the rat year, this year is the year of the ox. And oxens are, how do we use them? They plow the fields, they're very sturdy, um, they're very grounded, they're earth. But the high side and the low side of ox, and Karina will talk more about Uranus and Taurus, which can also be embodied by this ox, is because it's so stable and it's so steady and it's so grounded, it doesn't move as fast compared to the rat that can just, I guess, rat its way around. Um, there's also a shift from Capricorn, the mountain goat, the stern, strict, father-like disciplinarian, to the water bearer. And so imagine like we're in the middle of this changing of tides. So we were talking earlier about how there's this hum of anxiety and this hum of uneasiness and nervousness. Of course there is. Can we make space to honor that? Because we're shifting energetics, we're shifting energies. And although this is just a lunar shift from Leo full moon, now we have an Aquarius new moon. I also want to bring up again where we talked about the new cycle of Jupiter and Saturn when they met on December 21 in Aquarius, signaling another 200-year cycle. Can you imagine that? 200 years. We have we barely scratched the surface of the surface of the surface of what that 200-year cycle means. So we have a grander 200-year cycle that just begun or is starting to begin. We have a 30-year cycle that is also starting to begin. We have a 12-year cycle that's also starting to begin. So there's so many starts, there's so many beginnings, but there's also so much endings. So can we allow ourselves to grieve what is ending? And of course, energetically, physically, there's so much death that happened last year and will continue to happen. Can we make space to just feel what that means to lose, and grieve for that and mourn for that, and honor the confusion and honor all this icky, stucky, tarry feeling of just like what is happening to the world? Because no one knows. We really don't know. I mean, we can try to figure it out through astrology and all the modalities that we know, through tarot, through Reiki, through yoga, but no one really knows. Is what we're getting at here. There's so much unknown, but with that, what we can really control is where we are, who we are, and who we can be, and who we continuously try to become, and honor that continuous becoming. Okay, so fluffy words aside, now we go to the meat. this is what it looks like. But before we actually dive into this chart, I want to share something with you so that you can also experience what it looks like in the sky. And so with that, I hope this works. Mercury, I hope you won't play tricks on me. I will try this. And let me know if you can see my screen. Oh, yay! Can you see my screen? So it's 8:36 p.m. Take a journey through the universe with me. Imagine we are stardust. We are stars. And we are journeying across the universe. This is the actual placement position of the planets like at this time. So it's 8:37. This is the actual position of the planets right now. So the chart that I'm going to show you after this is a geocentric chart. So that means the Earth is at the center of the universe, but of course we know it's the sun, right? So just imagine a shift in perspective. So we're going to see, let me just turn this a bit. From this vantage point, you're going to notice that Earth, Mercury, Sun, Venus, you see Jupiter, you see Saturn, they're all aligned. They're all aligned in this line. And so from our vantage point here on Earth, they're in the sign Aquarius. And then you're also going to notice how Mars and Uranus, again, from the vantage point of Earth, almost looks like they're also aligned. So Mars and Uranus are in Taurus. So that's the part of like the sign, the constellation from our vantage point. That's where they are, the position in the planet. I mean, the position in the sky, or their apparent path in the sky. So let me zoom in on the Earth. Whee! Punta tayong Earth. Hello, Earth. So that's the moon. I'm just going to show you what a new moon looks like, why there's no light. So you see the planets. Hello, planets. So this is what a new moon looks like. New moon conjunct sun, again, from our vantage point. Okay, didn't want to do that. Okay, yeah. So if this is the moon and this is the sun, they're aligned. So that's a new moon. And this is what we call a conjunction in astrology. So this is why we say during new moons, there's no light, because the moon naman does not have a light of its own. It only reflects the light of the sun, right? So during new moons, the energy of the moon and the energy of the sun is the same. So we can set new intentions based on where the moon and the sun are in their apparent path in the sky, again, which is in Aquarius. And you'll notice as the moon moves through its cycle, and again, I ask you, like every sunset, just watch, look to the west and see the moon rising, rising and rising and rising every night, and also growing light. I hope you do that exercise. Ooh, you saw my husband a bit. And so with that, I'll go back to the heady chart, which I hope you won't feel like it's an alien, because you saw what it actually looks like. I mean, from that perspective, from that universe trip. So again, just imagine this is the Earth, the middle is the Earth. Like, don't pay attention to the squiggly lines, because Karina's gonna go through that with you later. So again, like we have all this Aquarian action happening in the sky. We have the moon and the sun at 23 degrees. We have Mercury, who is retrograde. So you'll notice it's RX. It's going retrograde. So it's appearing to move backwards. So Mercury is, just admit Nabs. Hi, Nabs. Nabs, please put yourself on mute. The Mercury is how we think, how we communicate, how we, it rules our technology, how we do business, how we do commerce. Venus is how we love, our passion, our relationships, our values, our money. Jupiter is our sense of optimism, higher learning, our ideals. It also rules like long distance travel. And with Saturn super near Jupiter, of course, we're still feeling that contraction and constriction because whatever, wherever Saturn is, that's where we feel limited. That's where we feel contracted. But don't think that it's, I hope that you won't like attach a bad meaning into it, more that Saturn is just really here asking us to be more disciplined, asking us to be more focused. And with all this Aquarian action, at the highest level, Aquarius, like the embodiment that I read earlier about Aquarius, Aquarius is the water bearer. It carries the water that you know, from traveling across the zodiac, and the sign before it is Capricorn, and that's where we were last year. We had a lot of action in Capricorn. So what did we learn last year? What of our values? What of our foundations? What of our relationships? um, what of the way we've been communicating? What of our emotions and how we've been handling our emotions? What of our life and our life's work from all that happened last year? What have we learned? How can we put that in a container where we can actually transmute that and use that as our oil, as our medicine oil for ourselves foremost, and then pour forth through our communities, because Aquarius is the humanitarian. Aquarius believes that every individual has unique gifts, and these unique gifts are fated in a way, because it's it's our purpose. It's our purpose for being here on this earth, so that we can serve the collective and we can serve the bigger ocean of humanity before it goes to Pisces and dissolves into selfless service. But so what does that mean for you? Like how are you like what are how are you feeling these words, like these big words? Um and some major themes, again, Karina's just going to go through the transits in more detail. But because we have, and you saw earlier when I showed you um, all these Aquarius planets seem to they form a square or a 90-degree angle to Mars and Uranus. So that's what a square is. And squares are, they're a tense aspect, but they're not tense like in a negative or bad way. They're just tense because they're crisis in action. And each of us are feeling this crisis in a different energetic level. We may feel it in through anxiety. We may feel it through a sense of depression because something just got lost or something broke. Our relationship ended, someone passed. There's so many endings and there's so many breakdowns that continues and will continue to happen. And I'm saying that with so much love and compassion, not as a harbinger of doom and gloom, but know that these breakdowns are just necessary so breakthroughs can happen. So if we can just envision the endless possibilities and breakthroughs of like what ifs and could be's, and not focus, if we can, so much on the breakdown. Yes, grieve for the breakdown. Yes, give time to mourn and process the breakdown, but not wallow in stay in that breakdown. Because what's waiting for us in the future is so much bigger. But the invitation of this new moon is really plant a seed. Plant a seed of intention, the intention of you. Like, how can you live more in alignment with your heart and with your heart's truest desires and passion? Your passions are your guide. And I'm saying passion because the opposite sign of Aquarius is Leo. And Leo rules the heart. Leo is the inner child. Aquarius is also the children because it's the house of our hopes and dreams. So, what are your hopes and dreams? Can you take a moment during this new moon to really sit down and figure out, like, what are my hopes and dreams for the future? And I say this all the time, how can we contribute in more meaningful ways in the future that our generation is responsible for creating? We are the midwives of the future. We are the midwives of the next generation. How can we make sure that our container is fortified and structured? So that's the Saturn Capricorn lesson. How can we make sure that our values are structured so that our container is fortified? So that whatever oil, whatever star, passion we put in that container, we can pour forth into our communities. And so, how does it feel? And how would it feel to live from your heart? Are you really giving yourself an opportunity to do this? I know there are a lot of uncertainties because, again, we have a lot of Venus action and Venus squares, and the energetics of this is really around values and money. So much instability around money, so much instability around currency, businesses, commerce. How is that resonating with you, and how is that reflecting in your life? There's also a big theme that's happening for the rest of 2021 where we're going to have Saturn. So this is Saturn squaring Uranus, and they're going to square each other 3 times this year. So the first time that they're going to square is on February 17, 18. So that's next week. This is something to look forward to, or not, but like just something to be like put in your awareness. And then it's going to happen again in June, in the middle of June, and it's going to happen again in December. And because these are collective planets, like Saturn and Uranus are collective planets. And I say collective planets because they're farther from the Earth, so they move slower. I hope you can put yourself on mute. We're going to feel it. Like there will be recurring themes of old versus new, of like old structures, or like old, whatever old means for you, and new structures or change or youth that will keep rubbing off each other. Oh my gosh, that will keep rubbing off each other. And so with that, before I pass the baton to Karina, just cross my way. Oh, what old is battling within you, in you? Ah, kung may pa-choice. And let me just end before I put myself on mute. You and I are made of stardust. We are the stuff of exploding stars. And I mean, a lot of people have different versions of this quote. We are the universe in ecstatic motion. Rumi says that. We are made of star stuff. Carl Sagan would also say that. We're made of carbon. We're like, our DNA was made of old stars. So like, can you embody that? I mean, we're all made of stars. My goodness, we are part of this universe. So can we stand up for that and embody that? Hi, yo, yeah, Karina, let me pass the baton to you.
Hi. Thank you, Thea. My heart's still beating really fast from those fireworks. They were the perfect, like, hello, wake up, get back in here. Would you mind nexting, please? All right. So what I'm trying to do here, or I want to say Thea and my goal is to make astrology as easy to understand for as many people possible, just because we feel like it helps you, it prepares you. Like last weekend, I didn't know what was going on. I went into the weekend, it was crazy. And then I checked the chart and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So we hope in doing this and in breaking it down for you, you're just able to work with it on a more embodied level. All right, so I want to start. This is a lot of kind of what Thea was talking about, and this came to me this morning. This question of Can you hold the vibrations of both your 3D self and your 5D self in this being without judging yourself nor others? And this brings me back to this quote that I heard this past week: emotions are addictions. And I think it's fascinating because I don't think we would think of emotions as addictions, but when you look at it deep enough, um, it's kind of like we always want more, like happiness. Who doesn't want to be happy all the time? Who doesn't want more happiness, comfort, or sadness, or grief? When you're in that level, how do we pull ourselves up? How do we be like, okay, we understand that there is comfort and grief, but how do we understand that we can hold more than one vibration in our body? Like Thea was saying, like, we've done all this work. So are we now able to integrate, or are we still at the point that we need to do a little more to be able to then integrate? Because we're not yet at the integration part. We are at the envisioning part. This is where we are right now. So how can you envision what you want to integrate by understanding that we're all a combination of this 3D material world? And not only this, but we also have this whole spiritual aspect to us that drives us. And so there are those people that believe that we are a soul in a body, and there are those people that believe that we are bodies with souls. And neither is wrong, but it's interesting to consider, like, what's the take of the other, why? And we'll go along more as we go through the next slides, but yeah. Okay, so this is one of the first aspects that's going on. Venus conjunct Jupiter. So the way they explained it, they're right beside each other. In fact, Venus and Jupiter are at the same degree at the exact time of the new moon. Um, Let me break that down before I explain the square Lilith and Taurus. So Venus is the planet, as Thea said, of love, beauty, abundance, worth, money, luxury. Conjunct, meaning flavored by the energy of Jupiter, which is expansive. Jupiter is the teacher. Jupiter is the planet that rewards you, but Jupiter only rewards you if you show up to do the work. And so here's my question: have you done the work of revisiting your values and your relationships? That Capricorn work that Thea was talking about that we went through last year. Did you do that work? And if you didn't, it's okay. Like, no judgment, right? That's what we're talking about. And so then maybe you can try to visit it now. How does it feel? How do your relationships feel? How do your values feel? Are you spending time with people that make you feel abundant, unique, and special? Because if you are, this is what's going to be amplified. This is what's going to be brought to the forefront. But if you're not, then Jupiter's energy is going to amplify this disharmony. And then that's when we start spiraling down. So do yourself a favor, is what I want to say, and check in with your values and check in with your relationships and how are they standing and how are they serving you. And if they're not serving you, here's where the square in Lilith comes up. Are you having a difficult time standing up for your sensuality, for your needs, even though you may know that they're important, but to other people they sound like too much? Because Lilith is Adam's first wife, who refused to be dominated by Adam and therefore was banished, and all of her children were killed. But she stood that much for equality that she was like, I'm not going to give this up and I'm going to suffer the consequences of it. I don't care what it is. Can you imagine how painful that is? Like getting all your children killed. But because of how strongly she believed that, she was willing to stand up for herself. And so, can we do that? Can we stand up for ourselves? Can we surround ourselves with people that support us? Can we surround ourselves with our tribe that can make us shine our brightest, that can make us remember that we actually are stars helping each other shine? Um, yeah, so that's for that. For the next one, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, trining the North Node in Gemini. So the first one was a challenging aspect. The last one we talked about, that's the only challenging aspect we're going to be talking about, since Thea covered Uranus and Saturn. Trines and sextiles are harmonious aspects. So trines are super harmonious, and a trine kind of combines the energy. And so basically, what this asks, oh no, what I wrote got cut out, but I'll read it from over here. Um, speaking, oh, there it is. Okay, speaking up is important, and so is listening to other perspectives that exist within the collective. And so, a lot of times, when we're talking about Mercury retrograde, we're talking about redoing a lot of things, reassessing, revisiting, rechecking, re everything. And so, with Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communication, of intellect. It's the trickster planet, and it's moving backwards. So instead of speaking and like just saying whatever comes to our head, could we reassess whether it's time to speak up or whether it's time to hold the polarities? Because Aquarius is a masculine sign, which makes it pretty extroverted. And with all of these planets in Aquarius, and Aquarius also rules the head, rules innovation, rules, so many other things, but also rules the head, the intellect, the way you think. And so when you consider this, you could be so quick to jump the gun. But Aquarius is also understanding that everybody that's in the collective is an important part of the collective, no matter what they have to say. So can you honor that? And can you think, okay, I have this thing to say, but let me consider what else this other person has to say so that I don't end up over analyzing and dealing with unnecessary chatter in my head that then makes me nervous or anxious or confused. Because God knows the planets are already doing too much of that. So we kind of need to, pull ourselves back. 3D plus 5D, not only 5D, not only 3D, because that's how we're going to survive. Okay, next aspect. We have Saturn in Aquarius, sextile, so harmonious, a little bit less boom than a trine, but still pretty harmonious. And so, as Thea was saying, Saturn is discipline, it's tradition, it's doing the work, it's like karma work. And in Aquarius, sextiling Chiron, which is your inner wounded child, in Aries. How can you clear out your childhood trauma and make space for new structures and beliefs that support the future of the planet and their inhabitants? And how can we be warriors for our wounded selves, right? How can we turn our wounds into medicine for the collective? Um, and how can we heal the collective as we heal ourselves? We do the work and we help others do the work, because that's what Aquarius is. We're doing the work, but we're not only doing the work for our own selves, we're doing the work for the collective, because God knows it's about time. I think we've abandoned it for way too long as a collective. And now here we are. Now, the last aspect I believe it is that I would like to talk about is Mars in Taurus. So, Mars is action, your drive, your sexual drive, the way you put yourself out in the world. And that's Mars in Taurus, which is more about sensuality, earthy, grounded, stable, and a little bit slow. Sextiling Neptune, which is the planet of illusion, spirituality, um, sometimes addictions, a lot of time illusion. And so, how are you allowing your spirituality to blend with your deliberate, well thought out action? How are you working from a place of soul? Are you working from a place of soul, or are you working from a place of illusion and addiction and being lost and being dreamy and all of this? Because with all this Aquarius action, it's really likely that we're able to just drift into this Pisces state. And it's also important for me to start understanding the Pisces jive, because we're about to go into the Pisces sun very soon. And so try to think about, how are you using your spirituality? How are you using the unseen? Are you using it to your advantage, or are you using it to bring about fear or lower vibrations. And with that, I want to share a story about spirituality. Right, next slide, please. Yes. Okay, so this is a personal story that I have shared with Thea and Princess just because it has been like coming up for me a lot. And so basically, I grew up very Hindu. And eventually, at some point, I started rebelling against it. Partly maybe because I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the prayers. When I would go to the temple, I didn't really know what was going on because it was in a different language. And partly just because I thought religion was just pulling people apart rather than putting people together. Anyway, then I begin my spiritual journey. Um, and then I hear bhajans and kirtans. And if you guys don't know what that is, these are like Indian songs of praise and worship. Hindu songs rather of praise and worship with like Sanskrit words. So if you've ever heard like Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, these are bhajans. If you've ever heard Krishna Das, his songs are bhajans. So anyway, recently I've been getting a lot of peace listening to music by Krishna Das and this woman named Satnam Kaur. Satnam Kaur is an American singer who sings um, preachings, I want to say, from the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the main book of teaching of Sikhism, which is a religion which teaches that there is one God. Okay, this got a little deep, but stay with me here. It's going to make sense. So, Ek Onkar, which is on the screen. So one day I was doodling this as I was listening to Satnam Kaur. And as I was listening to her, I was thinking about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation, because this has been in the forefront of my mind for like quite a bit with Sage, with Palo Santo and whatnot. So then I start thinking, if cultural appropriation is related to saging and Palo Santo, what about these bhajans? There are so many people all around the world now that are not Hindu, that are not Sikh, that are not from these religions, but they're singing these songs wholeheartedly, openly, like so well. Satnam Kaur does it so well, and she's so peaceful. And so I hit this trigger, which was like, okay, why am I listening to it when it's people from other nationalities, other races singing it, but why am I not listening to it when it's people of my own race singing it? And then I looked down because this is exactly what I was doodling. Ek Onkar, there is one God. And I was like, are you serious right now? Because essentially, who cares who's singing it? You know, who cares who's publicizing it? Because at the end of the day, these Krishna Das, Satnam Kaur, anyone like them that is, you know, singing in the praise of God and in the praise of like just the unity of the collective, why is it so bad if they're able to reach further than what the religion in itself is able to reach? And so it almost brings about the thought of maybe it's an illusion that we're all separate, that all these religions, cultures, races, everything all separate, because at the end of the day we all believe that there is one source. We all are trying to go to the same place after we are ready to leave these bodies. We all come from the same place. We may not know where that place is, but we all have the same goal. And so I just wanted to share it, because then I was like, is this cultural appropriation, like all these other people singing these songs? And it's not. And in my opinion, Sage and Palo Santo as well, if you think about it, it's just, what's the intention behind doing it? For anything in the world, what's the intention behind doing it? If the intention is, oh, I want to look hip and cool, or oh, I want to be singing songs of praise for no reason, like, then sure, that is cultural appropriation. Like, why place? But otherwise, I think it's fair to openly consider that people, rather than appropriation, are trying to appreciate especially at this age of Aquarius time where we're all just trying to share and we're all just trying to bring each other to the same place. And with that, I would like to share with you a story, another story that will lead into princess's embodiment. Oh no, is it not showing up? Uh, no, it's not showing up. Okay, I'm sorry, but I will say it. And yeah, you can leave it at that. Okay, I'll tell you a story about a prince named Prince Rama. So once upon a time, this comes from Hinduism. It is, to me, the way I have come to be okay with all of this is understanding that religion is essentially mythology. And so if we can take in Greek mythology or any other mythology, then we can just see what it holds for us. Anyway, so Rama is a prince in a kingdom in this town called Ayodhya in India. Beautiful kingdom and his dad has a whole bunch of wives. Really, really powerful king. Rama is next in line to become king. But one of the other wives of Rama's dad wanted her son to become king, and so wanted to have Rama and his brother and Rama's wife Sita banished into the forest so that she could have her son become king. Now, the original king, Rama's dad, had promised this wife that he will grant her anything she wants. And so then he had to banish his own son, send his own son into the forest for 14 years, for a 14-year exile, to stay true to his word. And so he sends Rama into the forest. He goes to the forest with Sita, his wife, and his younger brother Lakshman goes with him. They're spending their time in the forest and then going about their daily life. Years have passed. And then one day, this demoness comes to the forest and falls in love with Ram. And so tries to hit on Ram and is like, hey, will you marry me? Would you like to be with me? And Ram's like, I have my wife over here. Why don't you go try with Lakshman? And Lakshman's like, oh, no, sorry, not interested. And just like kind of showed like obviously like, oh, I wouldn't want to go for a demoness. And she actually looked a little nicer. She was presented in a better way, and then she turned herself into her original form. They saw that she was the demoness. She ran away to her brother, which is like the ultimate 10-headed demon. Again, may sound a little complex, but just bear with me for the story's sake. And so this demon has 10 heads and is very, very powerful. So she goes to the demon, who's her brother. She tells him, hey, look, this is what happened and I'm unhappy about it. And Ravana, who is the demon, is enraged. And so one day when Ram and Lakshman went out to look for food, Sita was alone. There was a deer crossing the road. And so there are multiple stories. One says when they were away, one say when they were there, there was a deer crossing the road, and Sita saw the deer, loved the deer, thought the deer was so beautiful, and asked Ram, please get the deer for me. And so they went to find the deer, and while they were gone looking for the deer, somebody came and kidnapped Sita. They come back, Sita's gone. They have no idea what happened, but they have an idea of what may have happened, knowing the tactics of the people back in the day over there. And so then they go on a hunt. They figure out, obviously, that they need to find her as soon as possible. And they bump into a bunch of monkeys and a bunch of bears. And so in Hinduism, there is a monkey god, and his name is Hanuman. And Hanuman, when he was younger, basically, he was shot down, monkey god, given a bunch of boons and like a lot of good things. And so he's really strong. He's able to eat the sun. He's able to like do a lot of things. He's no ordinary monkey. He's a monkey god. And so they see the monkey god. Rama asks, will you help us? Hanuman immediately says yes. He travels far and wide, finds Sita trapped in Ravana's home. Tells Rama there is a war. They start fighting each other, and we're good until there is only one person, which is Rama, and Ravana, which is the devil. They're like going head to head, not working out. Finally, Ravana's brother tells Rama what Ravana's weak spot is, which is his navel. He shoots him there and he's dead. They go back to the forest. And then eventually, once their exile is nearing the end, they go back home. And lo and behold, the whole town is actually waiting for them because the person that was ruling was not really meant to be ruling. And it was all lit up and it was happy times. And if you've ever heard of Diwali, the festival of lights, this is Diwali. I mean, not this is Diwali, it happens in November, but when they come home from exile, this is what Diwali is. And this is why everything is lit up and happy and joyous, because the king's son, who was exiled for 14 years with his brother and his wife, has finally come back to rule the kingdom. That's the story. And with that, I pass the baton on to Princess. Thank you for staying with me, you guys.
Beautiful. Thank you, Karina. I'm actually playing this song right now, but I'd like to invite you to just hold your heart space. Really feel that love story, because it is Valentine's Day. Regardless if you are in a relationship with yourself or with another person or with the universe. How is your heart? How are you holding space for your own heart and for others' hearts? Not just one, but many hearts. How is your relationship with intimacy? Can you be vulnerable and really show up as real, honest, and raw? Not being defensive or offensive to the other. Now, before I share the mantra and the mudra for Sitaram, I need 2 volunteers. Let's play. This is a New Year's and Valentine's play. So I need, well, Navs is not putting his camera on. So I guess that leaves Jess. The only flower or the only thorn among the... Tama ba? Are you okay to be vulnerable with us tonight, Jess? Okay, so the only thing we need, we know Navs already, so we'll put you on the side tonight, Navs, and we'll welcome Jess here. The only thing we need is to put Jess on the spotlight. Is that okay? Can we put him in the speaker view ba? Or we can all see him naman, no? But I want him to be flashed like really big in the screen. Maybe you can unmute, Jess. No? Okay. And the only thing that we're going to do is to observe and witness and to hold space for Jess. So, Thea, can we have him on a bigger screen ba? No, I don't know. Spotlight.
Tried.
Ooh, there he is.
It's my first time using Zoom, so I have no idea.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're just there. We're not gonna shoot you with an arrow like they did to Sita and Ram, or the other way around. All right. Now for everyone who's here in the room, let's join in together in 3 breaths together with Jess. So you just place your hands on top of your chest and not blinking, where we're just really looking at Jess right now. So let's breathe in together and out. Breathing in and out. One more time, breathing in and out. So we will just see and witness what we see in Jess right now. Maybe you will be here for an hour or just 2 minutes. So let's just really see and witness. Just you just stay there. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
I feel so special. So thank you.
good. With that, I'd like to get some insights from the others here in the room, what you saw by just witnessing, like looking at Jess. We don't know him, we don't know where he's from, what he does, and whatnot, but just a word or two that you were feeling by just holding space for him. There's no judgment here. Jess, you're safe, and everyone, you guys are safe to say whatever it is that you felt based on how you were able to witness and to see Jess as he was in the spotlight. So, any comment? Anything? And I hope you guys were able to witness something, because if not, then it means that you were not here. uh, Calm. Okay. What else? Warm. Acceptance. Warm. Fresh flower. Wow. Calm.
Thank you.
Okay. For me, I'm really surprised that yes, you are really calm. White jasmine. Do you like white jasmine, madam? There was a lot of like calmness at first, but in the and this, I don't know if this is you or just me witnessing, right? But there was like somehow in between, it was like a feeling of like, oh shit, am I gonna go run away now? Like what is the point of all this? Right. So I don't know, but just let us know, how was that experience for you?
Uh, I don't know. It's kind of feels weird because everyone is looking at me, and I have not really experienced like that. I mean, I've done things before, like in front of people, but not for like 5 years. So being away from home and being away from friends and just like focus on work. So it's kind of weird that 3 minutes, 2 minutes of silence and just everyone's looking at me. So I was like, I was calm, but trying to keep calm. Yep.
But what were the other things that were playing in your mind up behind that calmness?
Uh, things like what? Yeah, things like your impressions of me, your judgment. I think it's normal for us to be like thinking like what people think of us. And yeah, but I think I'm on that stage that accepting myself, because I've had I have like a couple of years, past years, I've had struggled to really accept myself. So not accepting myself makes you think of others, what others think of you. So I'm on that stage now that I'm learning about myself. I'm learning to be present. That's what I'm trying to learn now, trying to be in the now. So I think I've somehow learned that. That's why I'm being calm, and yeah, I'm just feeling your presence, and that experience was special. So yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. It's so kilig, right? If us guys or girls, all of us humans can just be vulnerable like this and just sit there, and wait before, okay, right. Thank you very much. Now
Thank
we
you.
have another flower who would like to be vulnerable next. Thank you, Jess. This is cool. There is a spotlight. How do I do that again? All right. Who wants to volunteer, or shall I volunteer you? Okay, bago ako mag-volunteer. Sino yung gusto? Blair? You have to unmute yourself.
Hi.
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, I am ready.
All right. So again,
Okay.
just see and witness and hold space for Blair. And Blair, you're safe. There's no judgment here. The only thing we ask you to do is just to open your eyes and open your heart with us here. So, everyone, let's take 3 deep breaths together. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And let's just see and witness and be here for Blair. Thank you, Blair.
Thank you.
Okay, so who would like to be with no judgment and coming from a loving and compassionate space? What were you able to see and witness while Blair was coming forward and being vulnerable in front of all of us, like we all are? Hmm. I saw like there was a really playful young little Blair, and it was like waiting, like, what do you want? Can I get my candy now? Love, smile, nervousness, sunshine, cooling
Thank
energy,
you.
cool because it's cold in Vienna. Agree
Is
with
it very cold in Vietnam? Yes.
So how was that experience for you, Blair?
Well, I'm kind of like, the one who said that I was nervous. Yes, it was indeed true. It's like my first, I cannot really like do it like in front of people, I'm not that kind of person. And yeah, I felt like it was new to me. Everything was new to me, like, standing in front of people. It's like, but it was a good experience, to be honest. And like Jess said earlier, I used to care a lot, what people thought about me. And I always, and then I tell myself, you know what, I need to stay grounded. I need to stay focused on myself and do what I feel like, what I want to do, and I think that's the most important thing, to stay grounded. And yeah, I don't know, I cannot really speak like this, but yeah, it was such a nice experience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your energy. Thank you.
Yes, I think that nowadays with all the face mask and face shield and
Yes.
interacting on, it's a bit difficult to have this kind of intimacy, right? Or holding space for the other. And especially within the relationship, I feel like there's so much tension because we are not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. We don't want to be seen, right? There's always this protective wall, like I'm right, you're right, everybody's right, but can we just stop and look at each other and see, and witness? And so this is the invitation for the mantra and the mudra that we're going to do together. It's called, so the mudra is called Hridaya Mudra, which is the heart gesture. And so we just sit with, can you guys see me? You can sit in a comfortable seated position. If you're in your chair, you can also do that. And just have your palms on top of your knees or your lap. And the finger, so the, what is this, point finger will be touching the bottom of the thumb, and the ring and the point finger will be touching the thumb, and the pinky is out, sticking out. We just hold this on top of our knees, on top of our lap. And what this mudra does is it helps redirect the prana, or the life force energy, towards the heart, and it balances the blood pressure and helping with heart problems emotionally, spiritually, and, well, maybe physically also, right? But we're not doctors here, but let's just believe that it helps our heart problems. Because
Princess, can I see that again?
so point finger at the end of thumb, middle and ring touches the thumb, the tip of the thumb, and then pinky is out. Okay? Yes. And later on, halfway through the music, we're gonna cross them. So just bear with me and stay with me. So I'll just teach you now before we go through it. So after we do this, we're just gonna cross our hands, and then the pinky will join each other, interlacing the pinky. We let go of the middle finger, and then they join together, and then the point finger as well will interlace. And so what is left now is the thumb and the ring finger. And this will be Abhaya Hridaya, which is the fearless heart. So when the first mudra, it was the heart gesture, right? We are open. And that's what happens when we fell in love. We are so open, and we don't have any fear. We just give in, right? And like we don't have any defense because we're in love, right? We're accepting that person. But then when shit hits the fan, there's like, oh, I don't want to be with this person anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do my project anymore because it's too much. But when we have that fearless heart and is able to endure, then what happens? We are able to, give it more chance and prolong and be patient. And that is why in yoga they say we bend so we don't break, right? So today, let's not break our fingers, let's just bend them. Okay, so let's go for the Hridaya mudra. So point finger in the bottom of the thumb, middle and ring finger touches each other, pinky is out, and just placing it on top of your lap. And I'll play this song from Sitaram. And you guys can just close your eyes. Maybe you'll feel like you're gonna go side to side, forward and back. Let's just let your body feel it and just let it let it. You can also chant with the sound of the music. Sitaram.
Jai Jai Ram,
Jai Ram.
Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram,
As you chant Sitaram,
Jai Jai Ram.
this is your calling your love, calling yourself.
Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai
interlaced, and just placing your hands on top of your chest. As Karina mentioned earlier, Hanuman, who helped Ram to find Sita, there is a picture of him holding his heart, opening his heart, and inside that heart you will see the lovers in between. And yes, there are lovers inside each one of us, no matter if you are alone or if you are with someone. There's always love in there. And so from here, we're gonna do a few yin yoga practices. Let's just bring our hands together, bringing it to the top of our hand, palms meeting, and then bringing it to the center. I don't think you can see me. Okay, let's do a shoelace. The right knee goes on top of the left knee. Okay. Oop. And in traditional Chinese medicine, everything from below the hips, so our lower extremities, it goes with our organs from the stomach under, right? Or the chakra from the sacral chakra to the, what's in the belly chakra?
Sacral.
The solar, the sacral, and the root chakra, sorry. And then up here, from our hands to our like upper extremities, are governing our heart and our lungs. So it is important that we stretch our arms, our hearts, and our lungs. So let's stretch our arms as wide as we can, breathing in and out. Breathing in, opening the heart, opening the lungs. Exhale. One more time. Breathing in, filling the heart and the lungs with air. Exhale. And let's bring our left hand to the back and our right hand under. And if you have enough space, your hands should be able to touch each other. If not, then just find a resting position there where you're comfortable. We're gonna hold this for a few breaths, maybe a minute or two. And just be comfortable with that stretch, with that heart opening posture that you have right now, while also bringing your belly button, pushing it back to your spine as you exhale. Bringing awareness to your breath. Really stretching the left side. open our chest. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring our right hand to the back. Maybe on top of your shoulder, your right shoulder, or top of your neck. If you have more space, maybe a bit lower. And then the left hand goes to the back, meeting the right hand or finger, or if not, anywhere that is possible for you right now. Taking a deep inhale, exhale. Opening the chest, opening the heart, and gently pulling the navel towards the spine as you There's so much tension in this side. You can take longer exhalations. Release all the Gently stretching the right side of your body. Inhale. Exhale, letting go of the hands, letting go of the shoelace. Now let's do a deer pose. So your right knee is in front of you. Your right foot is pointing at the right side, not the left side. And the left knee is on the side. Now, if your hips are tight or the side of your body are tight, you can just put pillows either on the right side or the left side to support you. From here, if you have another pillow, bring it right in front of you and just slowly and gently fall into the ground or into the floor. This will give you a stretch in the right hip. So just be gentle here. And slowly we store a lot of tension in the hips, and this is the part of our bodies that we don't really get to move or stretch a lot. And so it is important to really visit that area and gently give it a little stretch every now and then. twist here. So bringing the left hand on top of the right knee and just twist to the right side. The right hand is in the back. Twisting to the right side. Yourself. So just place your right ankle on top of your right knee, and the left knee is on top of the right ankle. So you can see myself, I have a bit space here. So you can just bring it closer to you. But the idea is to have an actual square position. But if it's too tight, then just bring it a bit closer to you. And then we're going to do another floor.
We can't hear you so much.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So where are we? So we're
That's
doing
better.
we're doing a square lotus pose. I did this the other day and I had a lot of tension in my hips. So if you feel like something is coming up for you, just be gentle with yourself and breathe through that feeling, that pain or that insight. All right, now I'm just gonna go to the side so you can see me. When you're ready, just slowly fall forward. And as you get into the pose, you might find more space for you to stretch. And so you just walk your hand a little bit farther away from you. And if not, you can also just stay where you are. Breathing in, slowly walking your hands back to the center. And let's do the opposite side of the deer pose. So now we have the left knee in front of us, left foot to the right, and then right knee to the side. Supporting your thighs if it's too tight for you at the moment. Bringing your pillow in front of you, if you need one anyway. When you're ready, you just slowly, gently fall to the ground. Feeling that stretch in your left thigh and hip. Breathing in slowly, pushing yourself back up. Let's do the twist. Right hand on top of the left knee, left hand to the back, twisting to the left side. Now inhale, exhale, going back to the center. Let's bring the right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the right foot. And then from here, we're just gonna slowly fall forward again. Just feeling the stretch here in the hip area. Exhale, slowly letting go. Breathing in, slowly pushing yourself back up. Now let's extend our legs all the way out. Just slowly wiggle your legs, letting the blood flow. As we slowly go to our last and final pose, or Shavasana. And I think Althea is gonna gift us with her music. We're gonna do a short one because it's already 10 p.m. I'm sorry to keep you guys for so long. So let's just find your comfortable laying down position, letting go of everything. Legs, hips, feet. Inhale and exhale. Moving the breath and then slowly just coming back. When you're ready. Thank you. Thea.
Thank you.
You don't want let's just do Savasana for an hour.